Okay, well, thank you so much for attending this conference call. So we're going to talk about the fall session. Of course, you can find information at peertutorsofmaryland.com. Okay, and our team for the fall is, of course, me. I'm doing middle and high school. I'm still teaching Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And, you know, I'm teaching the classes so that if some parents from the summer were homeschooling, so if someone says, well, I want to homeschool, but I math or algebra 1 geometry or something like that, well, then they could enroll for that. And Mrs. Munyeka is still going to be doing elementary, and then our peer tutors, I expect the group to grow as we go into the school year. I kept it small for the summer to just work things out and figure out how things are going to go. But so in order to be a peer tutor, you have to be one of my former students or a student from the program, at least 14 years of old. Should be a model student willing to work hard and receive my recommendation. And we had 4 students that fit that were peer tutors this summer: Yashi, Renee, Jalen, and Lauren. And they all did an amazing job. And I'm not the only one to say so. I've also heard that from the people that I've worked with. So it's been a really great experience, which is cool because that was my vision going into all of this. So how to join? It's pretty simple. You just gotta ask me and accept it. So I know the criteria that it takes to be a peer tutor, and so if someone asks me and I think to myself, well, they have some things they need to work on, then I'll give them an action plan and say, if you can show me that you can do this, this, and this, then then you can be a peer tutor in the future. But I've had a number of students throughout last school year and this summer that already I know would be great peer tutors. So if they're 14 or older, then they just have to fill out a work permit, tell me when they're available and their class preferences, and then we'll have our team. For the school year, the tutors are going to begin at $12 per session, and they can also create their own study group or one-to-one sessions between each other for free outside their tutor time. So that means if you're a peer tutor, you can also, have your own study group, and I'm still available, So the idea is, I have a place where I can log in. I know I can do my work, click the ask for help button, and get support, and that's always available for a low price. That's the idea. So also I told okay, so my friend David Wright, who was the first expert in our Ask an Expert session, is a salesman. He sells software to nonprofits. So he threw my name out to Knowledge Works Learning Academy when he was talking to them. They're transitioning to online and they didn't know how to do it. So now they are going to be like our peer tutors of Alabama. So I'm going to train them in how to do this. And so that's really exciting. So anyone that is a peer tutor of Maryland, if they need someone, then, they could be helping students in Alabama as well. So part of the agreement is as they get up and running, we can share tutors because we're all on a Zoom call. It's not too difficult to do that. So that was exciting. And my vision that, I didn't expect that to happen already, but, it's that this program that I'm designing could be used by any middle school teacher. It's really a blessing to be a middle school teacher. And, once the kids go to high school, then I know who are the best students, and I can say, hey, you were such a good student you could be an online tutor as your first job. And how amazing is it that a 14-year-old could work from home, you know? Like, so I think that hopefully more people will say, yeah, we want to do this too. And, they could say, oh, do you have one of those programs where the high school kids help the middle and elementary kids? I mean, shouldn't every school have something like that? So there were a lot of questions about the flyer. So for the school year, we're going to have, for the summer, we had study groups and classes. For the school year, we're going to have one-to-one tutoring in math and reading, study groups in math, reading, writing technology, Spanish, and ESOL. And then there'll be classes. I'll be doing the Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And we'll also have graphic design, Spanish, and biblical studies. And all of these things are based upon demand. If there's no one that wants to enroll in a class, then it won't be included for the semester. But these are the options that I'm putting out there. And then if there's a demand for it, then we'll open a session for it. For the payment is 10 weeks. So I had to answer this question a lot over the summer. When I said it's $120, people would say, $120, is that for like the week or what? And I said, no, it's for the summer. And so you guys should know it's based on $5 per session. I think that's a number that when you hear that, you say, oh, $5, I'll do that. And so instead of just paying $5 every time, which would be a pain for both of us, you just pay for 10 weeks, which is a quarter at a time. And if you want a one-to-one tutoring session, you can choose once or twice a week. If you want your child in a study group, you can do 1 to 4 times a week. And if you want your child to enroll in a class, you can choose to enroll in 1, 2, or 3 classes. So that's what the topics are. And so those are the prices for the full 10 weeks. So I'll stop there for a minute. And does anyone have any questions about the flyer?
Is this, are the prices per class? Like, say you're doing say you want math, reading, Algebra 1 and biblical studies and Spanish. So do you pay, it's still that one price no matter how many classes you take?
So if you took 3 classes for 10 weeks, that'd be $400. So if you wanted those 3 classes, then you pay for 3 times.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, Mrs. Moore?
Yes. Is it possible to do like half now and half later? Like half at the beginning and maybe a few weeks in or a midway point do the other half of the payments?
Oh, yeah. So I think you guys have, experienced like the mission is to be cost friendly and just serve the family. So if you can pay upfront, you can do that. But in the summer, I offered bi-weekly payments. So you can just talk to me and we can arrange the payment schedule.
Thank you.
No problem. Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, I'm going to continue on then, but you can still ask about that. So you guys should have received progress report, and you'll get another one at the end of the summer. And at the last page was the learning goal levels. So instead of giving the students A, B, C, D, or E, I mark them as being a certain level. So level 1 means they weren't really understanding things, but they're trying. Level 2 was they're understanding in part, but not fully. Level 3 is the student that is getting pretty much all hundreds on their assignments. But then level 4 is they were getting 100% early and being group leaders and helping the other students. So, you know, they're providing feedback, analyzing other people's work, and answering questions that they have. And then level 5 is they're not only doing all those things, but they can also tell you where the math is used outside of math class. So that is why we were having the Ask an Expert sessions on Thursday, so the students can start to explore those kinds of things. So I tell you that because in order for this process to work, it requires all of us as a team. I'm sure you know that. So instead of them just coming to the tutoring session and we all just say, hey, what are we going to do today? That wouldn't work. That doesn't work very well, and it wouldn't work for a peer tutor. Even worse for a peer tutor. But instead, they should be receiving instruction. If they're just doing peer tutors for the topic, the course that they're doing, then they'll watch a tutorial video. It might be something I created or from Khan Academy. That's what the students were doing this summer. So they watch the video instruction, they take notes, and then they try assignments. So if it's peer tutors, then they're trying Khan Academy or IXL assignments. If they're coming from school, then they're trying their school assignments first. So peer tutors is not a place that I come and get my homework done. It's a place that I come and ask questions about my homework, or you know, and we're not here to like just check their homework. We don't want the students to say, "Here, I did my homework. Can you check and see if it's right?" Oh, I can't say that. So we want them to do those things, and then they put their questions in a Google Doc. So each group is going to have a Google Doc where the students put their questions. During the year, I called it, with my students in the past, I called it an organized worksheet. So it's a newer version of that. But the idea is that the peer tutor and I have a Google Doc where the students have put everything that they need to work on. They know they need to work on because they got it wrong on the computer, or they just don't understand it. They didn't know what the teacher was saying in class. So they put it on the Google Doc. Then we create a plan based on that information. And that's how we run the session. Then after the session, students receive a task, be it go retry your assignment, or go do this similar assignment on the computer, or demonstrate your understanding, make a video tutorial explaining how you do this in your own words, step by step, something like that, that demonstrates their level 4, or a project where they can apply their learning. So that's the basic idea. And I say that to say that not all the students this summer were coming in with their work done, or they were trying their assignments multiple times before coming to class. And so just having us all on the same page with this is how it works makes the process go a lot better and the students learn a lot more. Does anyone have any questions about the process here? Because if you don't have any questions, then I'm going to make you explain it in your own words. All right, Mr. Edwards, can you explain for me the process in your own words?
Why'd you have to go pick on me?
Because you're right there on my screen.
That was a lot to put in my own words.
So what's the first thing the students have to do?
On a week-to-week basis?
Before they come to the session.
Oh, they have to do the practice work so you can see where they are.
Absolutely, yeah. And Mrs. Moore, how many times should the students do the assignment?
Many times, at least in my case with my kids, they do them sometimes about 3-4 times, maybe 5, until they improve their score and get better.
But before they come to the session, how many times should they do it?
At least once.
Just one time. So the students, you know, they're in a video game culture and they have this habit of like, I want to beat the Khan Academy. And it's not a game, you know, it's just problems. And I know it does give them points and all these things, but we want them to do it one time. Don't get in the habit of like spinning your wheels and trying again and trying again. We want to teach them to do it, correct your work, fix all your mistakes, and then you can try it. And once you get 100%, you can try it until you're comfortable. You know, I understand that that repetition is needed. I agree with you there. Okay. So registration, you got, you can register early. Uh, like I was saying with Mrs. Moore, you can pay later, but it's important that you register because registration, I should have said, the schedule will be based on tutor availability and the request of the early registrants. So if you register today, I'll say, okay, well, what days are you available? And then I'll do my best to make sure there's a session that you need at that time. But then the people that register later and later, it's going to be like, okay, well, that session is happening at this time. So if you want in, you know, you got to be available then. But there's no master schedule yet. I'm just waiting for everyone to sign up, and then I will make it based on the needs of everyone. But, you know, you can see that the sessions will take place between 2:30 and 8:30. But not every session will be available at every time. So even though there's those different offerings, there could be one Spanish, one class, you know, and it could be happening at the time that you want it if you register early. So in order to do that, you just go to the website, click on the heading, and then fill out that Google form. That's how you register. All right. So, you know, if you have any sort of a question, then you know you're not the only one. So would anyone like to ask any questions on behalf of the group?
Mr. Phil, did I miss what days of the week for a tutor?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the days of the week are Monday through Thursday.
Okay, so it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions from anyone or feedback from the summer? Problems you saw that you want to make sure don't happen?
I think so far the summer has been good overall, at least with my kids. They're struggling but learning at the same time. I guess I am concerned with the school year going into online mode. It's like how much online overload that they may end up with between the schoolwork, the tutoring, video games, etc.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. But I also had the goal this summer of helping them develop their skills to learn online, you know, seeing that this is going to happen, and supporting them during the school year as they have to continue to do it, because the fourth quarter, at least in the middle school and high school, they had one class each day, and they're going to expand that in the fall. So I think it'll be more challenging for them.
I think so too. Definitely think so. But I think the online with them this summer, I think we helped them a lot last at the end of the school year. This summer, I think they're catching on how to get on without actually having to, you know, we have to remind them that it's time, but they're able to actually now log in without us actually having to do the work for them.
Yeah, and that's another thing. There's two different principles I seen in education. One is you know, parents, we'll take it from here. We're the professional educators, and then we'll give you a report. I mean, I'm not saying that's exactly the way it is, but that's kind of the feeling that I got, where the teachers are kind of like afraid of the parents. And so I just want you to know that that is not my philosophy. I'm not trying to be a people pleaser, but I know that the kids are going to be, my class for a year or so, and then they're going to be yours forever. So I just want to be here to help, but also to hold you accountable that we're teammates in this process, and is it is the parents' responsibility to make sure that their students get the education. Does that make sense? Well, all right. If there are no more questions at this time, then you can send me an email, but feel free. Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. If you refer people, you are going to get a discount. So every student that came to the summer session on behalf of you telling them is included. So just give me a list of the people that came because you referred them, and each student is $10 off. So hopefully some of you guys can join for free, because you referred so many people. So keep that in mind. You can pass the flyer around, get the word out, just have people email me and we'll set up the schedule. And with that, that's all I have. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Bell.
See ya.
we'll talk again soon.
See you in the
Right.
morning.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.